Page 9, Tahitian Sunset. 4/4 times, got one sharp, G major or E minor. Well, if you look at the bottom of page 11, the last couple measures, you're here. That's G major. I'd say it's probably in G major. One hand at a time. The first line is introduction. The chords in the right hand. It's a G, a B, and a D. And then an A flat, C, and a D. And that's it. And then you come up, melody. 3, 4, 1, and 2. Connect that. Here to here, connect that. 4, 1, and 2. 4. Now going into the last measure, the third line, you can lift up there. It's a new phrase here. I don't know that I agree with that, but they did it, so okay. Hold the G down as you play the chord. It's just a G chord. And keep holding the G down during the rest and the next chord. And then keep the G down during the next rest and the next chord. And one more time. So the G's down for the whole line. Page 10, you're back up to here. It's what you were doing before. Cool. And then here. And then we do that some more. Go down to the bottom of page 10. You're here. And then the last two measures, it's here. Don't forget the F sharp. Now the last D, I recommend you use second finger on that. This prepares you for what's coming up. So the 5 and then a 2. And now you're in position. You're going to lift up anyway. It's a new phrase. So you can use 5th. It's just now you got to use 5th again. Ugh. So 2 here, and then lift up. And you're back to what you were doing before. The last line on page 11, I'll come back to it when we talk about the left hand, because we need to do both hands together there. It's a bit of a mess. Speaking of left hand, the beginning, connect all these. You can use a 2 on the E flat if you want, no problem. And that's really about all you're doing for this, and this is exciting. This is it. Good luck with the left hand. Get down to the bottom of page 10, last couple measures, hold the D down and just add the C to it. And then those are tied for quite a while, and then you go back to what you were doing at the top of page 11. And that's great. Well, that takes us down to the bottom of page 11. Here, you got LH in there, that means left hand. So both hands, you're ending here, and then for the last line, it is a 1, and the left hand comes over, and then the right hand, and then the left hand, and then the right hand, and then the left hand's got to go down. And that's a stretch, but do what you can. Now in the left hand here, you can change and use third finger on the quarter note if that helps you get to the B, or fourth finger, whatever helps you. You don't have to play both of those D's with the same finger. That's okay. So that last line, just keep it smooth. You're starting here and then you're going here. This all takes a little practice, but it's got to be smooth and even. It's got to sound like one hand played the whole thing all the way through, even though you're using 2 hands. So you have to balance them out appropriately. Hopefully putting the hands together on this is not too hard, because the left hand isn't doing a lot. It's just got a different rhythm. Line, you're holding that note down throughout the whole line. You're kind of gonna have to keep all this really soft so we can hear that G. I mean, you can't hear it all the way through, it dies away too much, but do the best you can with it. And that's pretty much the piece for the most part. It says moderato is somewhere in the middle. It's not fast, it's not slow. What's moderato? Depends on how much coffee I've had and what time of day it is. But somewhere about as fast as I've been going. You'll have to decide on the speed that you think it should go, or your teacher will decide for you. Got dynamics. Again, I think you should learn the piece first and then put in the dynamics. I want to talk about the pedal because the pedal can affect the dynamics. So let's do the pedal first. They're overlapping pedal throughout, pretty much throughout, but I like to hear phrasing, so let's see what we can do with the pedal. You're going to push the notes down and then the pedal, and each time you change the pedal, you're going to do it after you play the notes. So the pedal overlaps the notes and the hands. So at the beginning, it's play the note first, then the pedal, then change it after you play the note in the next measure. On this page, let's talk a little bit about the dynamics. Again, you put in the dynamics after you get to know the piece. It's sort of soft at the beginning. Not soft, just sort of soft. And it's up to you. It's both hands the same here. And then the last two measures, you're going up just a little bit to medium loud. There's not a lot of difference between medium soft and medium loud. It's just a little bit. And then the left hand has to come down. It's the medium loud is to the melody, so keep the left hand soft. We want to hear the melody. You hear that the last line, that G is accented. Just give it a little extra. Just helps it to last longer as you're playing that whole line through. The stuff on 10 and 11 is the same. Not a lot going on here. It's just the pedaling, it's every measure pretty much. If they don't want it every measure, they give you the pedaling in the indication. Like at the bottom of page 10, you're here, and then here, then hold it down for both measures, and then I lift up with the hands so we get a little silence before we go on. It's new. It's like a fresh beginning. You get the third line down, they're giving you the pedaling again. It's every measure for a bit until the last line. You're holding it down for quite a while. So the last two lines is here. And that's tied. You're going to hold that 4 counts and leave the pedal down as you go up. Now change it. Sort of the effect. You have to experiment with the sound and the effect it's having. And musically, it won't be exactly pedaled the way they're showing, but it's a good start. I like to do a short play with me here, not a short one, a slow play with me. I'm going to do page 9, and then I'm going to stop and turn the page and count in again, and then do pages 10 and 11. If you're playing for somebody and you're playing this, you can't stop. You got to keep going. So you have to figure out, and we do practice page turns if we have to, where you're going to turn the page, and do you have to leave out notes? What do you have to do? Well, you're pretty busy all through the bottom of page 9. Both hands got stuff going on. You can't really leave out too much there. At the top of page 10, you're still busy here. But when you get to the third measure on 10, now you got some time in the right hand. So if you could memorize the first 3 measures on page 10, right there, and as you're doing this, then you can turn the page, and now you're ready to go. You don't have to leave out any notes here, because the pedal will keep the sound going. I mean, you play it like an 8th note pretty much, get off of it and turn the page quickly, and then you can do it that way too. That's my suggestion. So I'm going to give 3 counts and play this slowly. If you want to play along, at least the right hand to make sure you got the rhythm going. then I encourage you to do so. We have to be careful on these play with me sections because I slow these way down, and that changes the effect the pedal has on the sound. So sometimes it doesn't sound real good the way it's pedaled when you play slowly. For instance, here, when I get down to the second line here on page 9, if I play it in tempo and pedal it every measure like that, not too bad. If I do that slowly, this just, so it kind of depends. So in the play with me, this will sound a little blurry and off. If this were a slow piece, I would not pedal it that way. And in fact, probably wouldn't pedal the eighth notes at all. It'd be. I just leave them out. You don't need the pedal anyway. You don't really need the pedal in this piece anyway, but they put it in, that's fine. Just understand that the tempo affects how you pedal, it affects the dynamics, it affects everything in the overall sound. And so on these play with me's, we're not performing it, we're just checking notes and rhythms, and that's really all we're after. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, ready, go. Tie, 2, 3, 4,